Welcome to my another session, and today we are going to see about the electromagnetic induction. Come, let's get into this video. Let's learn about electromagnetic induction. As we all know that an induction is based on the principle of magnet and a wire which are related to each other, in which a voltage is getting induced in that wire. The amount of voltage will be produced depends on the speed, the magnetism and the shape of the wire. These three things, the speed, magnetism and the shape of wire, produces or it tends to create high voltage in that induction. Consider a loop of wire which carries current, and now a magnet is getting placed in that wire, and due to that process of induction or by the magnetism, an induction of current will be produced near to the magnet, and which tends to create the voltage or the current. Now we will see three diagrams, each having different turns near the magnet. Among these three diagrams, the third one, which is having more number of turns, produces high voltage. It is clear and evident that which is having higher turns produces higher voltages near to the magnet based on the principle of electromagnetic induction. Now let us see the definition of electromagnetic induction. An voltage is induced by changing the magnetic field around a conductor. That is, any change in that magnetic field will induce a voltage. For example, we may have a traffic signals. So this traffic control signals is the best example of electromagnetic induction, as there is a change in that field which induces a voltage. Let us learn the Faraday's laws. What it says, it is the induced voltage in a coil is proportional to the number of loops that is multiplied by the magnetic field which changes within the loops. In Faraday's laws, when the magnet is moved with different materials, the voltage induced will be the same for each case when it passes different materials. The same will be for the current also. The most current will be produced in that material where the electrons are bound to be most loosely coupled. That is, the magnet will produce a larger current which moving past the copper than any other material such as the rubber. Now let us learn about the generators and AC supply, that is alternating current. As a wire moves back and forth past a magnet, the resulting current changes the direction, that is, the alternating current will be produced. Just we are recalling, a motor is the one which converts the electrical energy into mechanical energy, that is the rotation of the armature, whereas a generator is the one in which it converts the mechanical energy into electrical energy. Let us learn the generation of AC current with an example. If a current carrying conductor is placed near to the magnet, it produces the electrical output. Such a case, the electrical conductor will be made to rotate, such as it produces a continuous current, that is alternating current, which it helps to glow the light. By based on the application of the mechanical input that is made to rotate the loop, it produces a continuous current that will be seen in this diagram, in which it has the continuous flow of voltage. Now let us learn about the production of current by the use of generator. The generator has the input from the stream of wires or turbines or windmills, which causes the armature to rotate in a generator. Thus, an alternating current will be produced by the generator, which helps to glow the light. Let us learn about the induction based on the transformers. Transformers having two coils, primary and secondary. Usually the primary is having more number of turns, but the secondary is having lesser number of turns with thick wires. The primary winding is connected to the voltage source, whereas the secondary coil is connected to the galvanometer. When the voltage source is switched on, the current surges through the primary coil, and when the voltage is switched off or it is turned off, the current surges through the secondary coil in the opposite direction based on the principle of magnetic induction. The magnetic field building around the primary extends to the secondary, that is, the changes in the magnetic field intensity induces the voltage in the secondary, which is based on purely the induction principle. Let us see about the step-up transformers. When the output in the secondary will be equal to this primary winding supply voltage, it is called as 1:1 ratio transformer, and when the secondary voltage is higher than that of the input voltage, that is primary voltage, then it is termed as step-up transformer. Now the third diagram clearly indicates it has a 1 volt of AC input which produces a 2 voltage of AC output in the secondary winding, which clearly indicates the step-up transformer. Hence, it is clearly evident the voltage is stepped up or stepped down based on the number of turns in the primary and secondary winding. If the number of turns in the secondary winding is more than that of the primary, then it has the step-up transformer, and when the number of coils, that is turns, in the secondary winding is less than the number of turns in the primary, then it is step-down transformer. Hence, the voltages can be stepped up and stepped down so easily as the electrical power is primarily in the form of alternating current, that is AC. Now let us learn about the induction principle based on the Faraday and Maxwell equation. Both are inverse to each other. According to Faraday, the electric fields are created in any region of a space where a magnetic field is changing with time, whereas according to Maxwell, what he said, a magnetic field is created in any region of a space where an electric field is continuously changing with time. So hence these Faraday's and Maxwell's are inverse to each other, leads to a concept of electromagnetic waves. Thus, the electric field is always perpendicular to the magnetic field, and the electric field and magnetic field both are perpendicular to the direction of a moving wave. The waves move outward from a vibrating charge. Let us see the diagrammatic view of electromagnetic waves, in which the electric field and magnetic field both are perpendicular to each other. The blue color indicates the magnetic field and the yellow color indicates the electric field, in which both are perpendicular to each other. Now it is clearly evident that the electromagnetic waves move at the speed of light, which was discovered by Maxwell. If the waves travels at lesser speed, that is lesser than the speed of light, then they would go zero at the destination time. With this, we come to an end of this today's session, and we seen the electromagnetic induction, how the induction principle has been carried out in the motor and as well as in the transformer, and how the electromagnetic wave is getting traveled. If you have any doubts, please do comments in our comment section. Thank you.